Hey, you! Yes, you dear viewer, are you tired of using a low-end computer to play video games?
Yes!
Are you poor and live in an underdeveloped or a Soviet country?
Da!
Do you really want to play the latest games on a really high-end computer?
Yes!
Well, even if you answered no to one of these criteria, this video still applies to some of you. As we're now experiencing a period where the video game industry is growing more than we ever seen before, game studios are trying to push the boundaries of hardware and graphical rendering to at least show off that these games are from the latest generation. Although most of the game developers now see gaming as some type of casino or money machine, with the sole purpose of making it larger, unoptimized, rushed, and barely even working for very high-end PCs. But what I'm saying is not, oh, video games are not funny anymore. Modern game bad. Boo-hoo, it's over. No, the point here is that it is becoming more expensive to play modern video games. Not only because of the price and hardware, but also due to the financial conditions of the person. For example, I live in one of the most unequal regions in the world, aka Latin America. But not only that, I live on the worst parts of this whole damn thing. The PCs cost more than a minimum wage, everything is highly taxed, and in the end, those taxes are useless because of the huge amount of money laundering that is occurring. Moreover, this not only applies to Latin America, because there are many places in the world where gamers are experiencing the same issue, even in some developed countries. As a result, more people in bad financial conditions are doing everything they can to buy one of those super ultra next gen computers, just so they can play the latest and best games the market has to offer. But as we know, when most of these individuals finally buy their so-called dream setup, they end up just playing a little bit and then they completely lose interest in playing on that PC, resulting in hours and hours scrolling through social media and 24/7 internet spill of trivia and celebrity bullshit. In my country, this type of behavior is largely known as the PC gaming syndrome. But another thing related to this term is that when we purchase a gaming PC, we usually tend to use them to play multiplayer games and get some extra FPS during these online matches. But thing is, every online game has some type of toxic people or unpleasant situations that we might get into, such as players harassing you,
Stream, sniping,
cheaters ruining your match,
this guy's got something going on right now. Jesus!
rage quitting, and all that sort of stuff. And this leads us to having a bad impression about the games we play, and ruining all expectations and purpose we had with a brand new computer. I'm not saying that multiplayer games are bad. What I'm saying is that this desire to be better at those online games is ruined, making us play lighter games and continue with the habits that we had before buying this PC. I mean, gaming itself is a type of luxury. You don't really need to play games to survive and that sort of stuff, unless you are being held at gunpoint and forced to play those furry dating games on Steam. Leaving that aside, we should really emphasize how many amazing games can run even in a fucking potato. Emulation is out there just for that purpose. And by the way, there are old consoles that have tons and tons of great games inside their libraries. Perfect example of this is the PlayStation 2. Some of the best acclaimed titles in history have been launched through the console. And practically any PC from 12 years ago and onwards can run those games. Shadow of Colossus, Silent Hill 2, Ico, Shin Megami Tensei, God of War, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Persona 3, and the list goes on and on and on. But Angelo, you're being too fascinated about games from the past. Why don't you take a look at modern games? Well, my friend, I'm not being overly obsessed with the past. Yes, there are bad games from the past, but there are also lots of modern games that can be played with old hardware, especially the ones made by indie developers. One of these games that I haven't seen that many people talk about is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. The game is really inspired by the Jet Set Radio series, and they managed to use the game's art style to create a really unique and stylish game. Seriously, this game's soundtrack is fire! Take a listen. While we are talking about amazing games, I can put all the games that can run on a low-end computer into a single video. But if you search a little deeper, you can find hundreds of high-rated video games that can be played even on one of those ThinkPads that we use at school. By the way, this video is being produced on a 2013 PC, which is included on a setup that contains a white piece of wood being held by two fucking bamboos. I'm not kidding, this is my setup. Yet there are still people that say that they can't run anything with old hardware. What I have to say to those people is that everything is possible, even when it takes a huge amount of time to produce or install new games on your PC. In conclusion, the main message that I want to spread in this video is that you can have fun even with simple and cheap things that you have. It's no doubt that there are GPUs which are older than a decade, yet they can still run modern games with low graphics. With this said, enjoy what you have and don't get anxious about getting a good computer, because one day, with hard effort, you will finally get your dream PC. Thanks for watching.